Hello, and welcome back to Awakening to Your Story TV, the place to learn, get inspired, and be supported with heart centered solutions for your everyday life. I'm your host, Alicia Hartzell, and I want to welcome you to season 8. I can't believe we have done 8 seasons together, and I'm so excited to have you here. I wanted to kind of tell you a little bit about myself and why Awakening to Your Story started and how it started, and tell you all the different ways that I can actually help you. Um, we have a lot of new people coming into this community, and I am beyond grateful to have you here. But I realized that maybe you didn't know me as well as some of the people who have been here for a long time. I started Awakening to Your Story 13 years ago. And part of the reason I did that was because I wanted to create a place where all the things that I had learned in my life could be put to use so that I could help you. And let me start by saying, if you have a problem, if you feel like you are suffering in some way, or that you're challenged in some way, or you have questions, or you feel alone, please, 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 please don't suffer in silence. Don't suffer alone. I am here to help. And I'm sure that there's a lot of outlets that are there to help you. You don't have to walk through the challenging parts of life by yourself. And I want to be a place where you can land and ask your questions without judgment and feel like you're being seen and valued and supported along the way. So the best and easiest way for you to feel that and to do that is to write in the comments and tell me what you're thinking, what you're feeling, your questions, the problems that you're having that you feel like you're alone in. And I will meet you there, right? I don't think that there's a comment on YouTube, any of my YouTube videos that I haven't replied to. So I will meet you there and hold your hand along the way, right? Okay, 13 years ago, Awakening to Your Story started because I had really done so much emotional work for myself. And all my friends had been kind of coming up to me saying, I wish I could keep you in my pocket. I wish that all the wisdom and the love and the support that you give me, I could have at the drop of a hat. And that kind of set into motion writing a book, creating the blog, shooting the videos, and doing all the things that have kind of bloomed into existence on this platform. Now, I want to say that when I did the work to kind of emotionally come back to myself, I really did the work. I had a really challenging childhood. I had It was hard. It was really hard. It was really beautiful too. There were so many points of light and beauty, but it got to a point where it was really hard to focus on any of the positive things that were going on because I felt like I was drowning in the suffering and in those pain inducing kind of experiences, right? I had 7 parents walk in and some out of my life. Um, there was a lot of abuse. There was a lot of abandonment. And all of that played out on top of all of the regular things that happen as a child and as an adolescent with friends and teachers and dynamics that are really challenging to navigate, especially when you don't have the support of people around you, right? And so by the time that I was exiting high school, I had kind of decided for myself that I did not want to become a product of where I had been and the things that I had survived. And so that decision set me on a path of healing. And I didn't know what it was going to look like. And I didn't know that it was really happening until I turned around and realized that I had really been creating a path back to myself, back to my happiness, back to my joy, back to all those things that were intrinsic to who I am. I didn't even know that there were things intrinsic to who I was when it all started, right? I devoured self help books and watched videos about people who were trying to inspire people like I am today to find themselves again. I read about the brain, the scientific stuff behind the brain and the emotional heart. I created space to really allow myself to process all of those things that I had survived, right? I sat with masters and spiritual teachers, and I did a year of meditation where I took out all of the TV, and we didn't have social media at that time, but I took all of those extra things out. And when I came home from work and when I woke up in the morning, that is what I did is I meditated and I got really quiet within myself for a whole year. I also went out into the desert and sat with, the Native American people who were lovingly bringing me into a space of healing. It was a time where I used every piece of my life as if it was trying to teach me how to become more of who I really was, right? Come back to the home within my heart and my being, right? And as I did this, what I found was all these splintered pieces of who I had been and the things that I had survived kind of came back together. And it was in this place of healing that I slowly started to experience the sense that my life was really this beautiful masterpiece. All those things that felt like they were breaking me apart, all those splintered pieces, as they came back together, what I discovered was that it allowed me to live this masterpiece of my life. And I really did have the power to create one thought, one feeling at a time. And as I created that healing journey and walked that healing journey, I built up all these tools. And where there were gaps, I created tools for myself. And then I was handing out these tools, emotional tools, to my friends and my loved ones. And what came about was this ability to navigate even the most challenging situations with a sense of inner alignment and knowledge that it will be okay, right? That kind of higher level conscious awareness that I can navigate my way through anything because I have the tools to do that, right? And so, one of the things that I know for a fact is that if I can do it, and I mean, I did it from scratch, right? I gathered everything up. If I can do it, you can do it, and you don't have to do it alone. I am here to help you. I am here to cheer you on, to inspire you, to teach you those emotional tools, right? So, what I want to kind of explain to you today in this video is all those ways that I am here for you so that you do not have to be alone. So if any of the things that kind of happened or felt like you were being put down or squashed or made to feel less than, any of those things that happened in my life are happening in your life or feel reminiscent, I want you to know that you are not alone, right? So the first place that I can help you is if you write in the comments. I will meet you there. You are not, even if it's just you want to share a win, right? Because you need someone there with you to share the wins that you have. I'll be there. If you have a challenge, I will meet you there and I will help you find a tool that will give you your power back, right? And make that challenge feel a little bit easier. You can also go over to my blog, which is in the link to the blogs that go with the videos are in every comment section or description of the video. You can write on the blog as well. I'll meet you there. And the next place is really utilizing those tools, right? So creating an active role where you are participating in your path to finding your emotional freedom, right? To building that emotional intelligence, to stepping into your place of power. You have to actively choose to build up those tools. And I've made it really easy for you. I have an emotional tool library on my website. If you just hang out on YouTube, I have a playlist of the emotional tools there as well. Build up, use, practice, and build up those emotional tools so that when you're in a challenging situation, you have a second nature response that isn't just survival, right? Now, you can also, on my website, I have the Awakening to Your Story handbook, our handbook and starter kit in digital form that are free to you. Download them, use them. They are filled with all sorts of exercises and ways of seeing and thinking about the challenges that you face in a different way, right? And then there's the Awakening to Your Story book that you can also order on Amazon. All of those things are designed to really help you build up that new path to yourself, right? To find a way to not just sit mired in the suffering, but find a way to that emotional freedom, right? Because everything in your life is designed to help you. There's not one thing that happens in your life that is meant to just keep you suffering. If it's a suffering situation, there is a way beyond the suffering and through the suffering so that your life is that masterpiece that only you can live. You are the only you that will ever walk this earth. And you have a very valuable seat at the table of humanity. And what you create with that life is important and valuable. And you being you is a big deal. Your worth and value are not determined by any external source. They're just intrinsically part of who you are. And I believe that it is your birthright to be able to experience that worth and feel that worth and live into that worth and that value. And that's why all these tools are designed to help you get back to that place, right? Okay, so season 8 is really determined by you. We go into topics according to what you're writing about, what you're emailing me about, what you're showing up in these videos and the comments telling me that you need. So tell me what is on your mind. Tell me where your heart is, and we will do this season together. I am so grateful that you're here and that you are you living your life. And I want you to subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my weekly emails, feel that support, allow that support to just wash over you and fortify you. And I want you to know that until next time, I am holding a place of love for you where the beauty of your life, your worth, and your value, well, they're undeniable.